In a big city called Eden, there lived a woman named Tosin. She was a smart and strong lawyer. People in the city respected her because she always fought for what was right and never lost a case. She had money, power, and a good life. But Tosin was not happy. Tosin was married to Ade, the richest man in the city. Everyone thought they were the perfect couple. People admired them and wished to have a life like theirs. But behind closed doors, Tosin's life was full of pain. Ade was not kind to her. He would get angry for no reason and hit her. No matter how hard Tosin tried to make him happy, he always found a reason to hurt her. She was scared of him. She worked late so she wouldn't have to go home early. She helped her friends with their cases just to avoid being at home with Ade. One day, she told her mother about her suffering. She thought her mother would help, but instead, her mother scolded her. Her mother looked at her and said, Tosin, why do you want to be ungrateful? Have you forgotten everything Ade has done for the family? Look at your sister. He sent her abroad for school. Very soon, she will be a pilot. Ade pays her school fees and all her expenses. Look at your father's business. Just look, it is growing because of Ade's help. And me, I am now the head woman in this town because of him. Even if you should forget everything else, remember this. You are a lawyer today because of Ade. He sent you to law school. He takes good care of this family. We don't lack anything. And you think it is fair to lie and complain every time your husband corrects you? Mama, you don't understand, she said, almost crying. I have tried everything to make him happy, but nothing I do is ever enough. Then try harder, her mother said, raising her voice. Do you know how many women want to be his wife? Do you know how many would do anything to have what you have? Stop being greedy. Be happy and make peace with your husband. Mama, are you not listening to me? Ade beats me like a child. I have no freedom. I can't even spend my own money without asking him first. Mama, I have no friends, she said, now crying. I can't even wear what I want. Her mother frowned. So what? A wife must respect her husband. See, every marriage has problems. Since I married your father, have you ever seen me leave him or complain to my mother? Go home and take care of your husband. Do not bring shame to this family. Tosin learned to keep quiet. She smiled in front of people, but inside she was full of pain. Everyone saw her as a powerful woman, but no one knew she was trapped, just like a bird in a golden cage. One day, Tosin won another big court case. It was an important case, and her colleagues celebrated her victory. They planned to throw her a party for her success and her promotion. She was happy but also scared of how her husband would react. That evening, when she got home, she found Ade sitting in the sitting room, reading a newspaper. She took a deep breath and called softly, My lord. He did not respond. She tried again, this time in a louder voice, My lord. Ade looked up with an angry face. What do you want, woman? I want to discuss something with you, she said nervously. Then speak, he replied, looking at her coldly. And why are you standing? Did I not tell you to always kneel when addressing me? Do you think you are now a big woman and can start to disrespect me just because I made you a lawyer? Tosin quickly fell to her knees, shaking. No, my lord, I will never disrespect you. I'm sorry, she said, her voice trembling. Good. So what do you have to say? He asked. Tosin hesitated for a moment before speaking. There is a small gathering in the office to celebrate me and others for winning our last case. Ade laughed loudly and mockingly. So you want to go? He asked. Tosin, looking tense, did not answer. I'm sure you don't plan on going, right? He asked again, his voice calm but filled with anger. Is that what your mates are celebrating? Is it your child's birthday or a baby dedication occasion? He stood up suddenly and kicked her in the stomach. You have no shame. You want to go to a party and flirt with those men all in the name of work. He shouted. No, my lord. Tosin gasped in pain, holding her stomach. It's just an office thing, she sobbed. Shut up and get naked, Ade ordered, unbuckling his belt. Tosin clung to his leg, begging. Please, not today. I won't go again, please. I'm still in pain from the last time. Please. He kicked her hands away and dragged her to the bed. He started beating her. calling her names, and afterward he had his way with her. When he was done, he ordered her to go make him something to eat. Tosin, who could hardly walk, dragged herself to the kitchen. But as soon as she got there, she collapsed onto the kitchen floor and passed out. Ade heard the sound and rushed to the kitchen. He carried her back to the room and called their family doctor. When the doctor arrived, he treated Tosin and managed to revive her. But there was a look of sadness on the doctor's face as he gazed at Tosin, who lay miserable on the bed. He then turned to Ade, who showed no emotion. Sir, I think Madam needs to take it easy. She has lost her pregnancy and she needs to be very careful and take good care of herself. Ade's eyes widened in shock. She was pregnant? He asked. Yes, sir. It was just a week old. I am certain she didn't even know herself, the doctor replied. For a moment, Ade looked sad. Then, without a word, he walked the doctor to the door and saw him out. Tosin heard what the doctor said and couldn't contain her sadness. How could she let herself lose something so precious? She had lost her child, all because of Ade's anger. She lay on the bed crying bitterly. Ade walked into the room and saw her in tears. He sat beside her and sighed. You caused this, he said. You shouldn't have made me angry. But don't worry. God will bless us with another child soon. Tosin didn't respond. She was too lost in her pain. It's because I love you so much that I can't stand other men looking at you, Ade continued. She still said nothing. You know what? He said after a moment. The doctor said you need rest. I'll book a flight to Paris for us. We can take a break for a week. Tosin looked at him in disbelief and shook her head. She didn't want to go anywhere with him, but Ade didn't care. He went ahead and called her boss, telling him that Tosin needed time off to celebrate her big achievements in Paris. The news spread round the office, and once again, Tosin became the envy of her colleagues. In Paris, however, Tosin wasn't allowed to go anywhere alone or make phone calls. Ade always kept an eye on her. After the vacation, Tosin returned to work, acting as if nothing had happened. She smiled, greeted everyone, and played her usual role. You look amazing, her colleague said, but no one saw the pain behind her smile. Later, Tosin excused herself and went to the ladies' room. As soon as she was alone, she burst into tears. Why couldn't anyone see that she was suffering? Why did everyone only talk about how well Ade took care of her? She had no one to turn to. Her parents refused to help her. That's when she thought of her younger sister, the only person who might listen. With shaky hands, she picked up her phone and called her sister. When she answered, Tosin took a deep breath and through her tears began to explain everything that had been happening. Jula was shocked by everything her sister told her. She could hardly believe it. Sister, what's your plan? She asked. Tosin sighed. I'm scared to leave, she admitted. You know how powerful Ade is. I'm sure he won't just let me go. And our parents, they refuse to say the truth. Jola hesitated before speaking. Sister, I'm really sorry you are going through this, she said carefully. But you know Ade is the one paying for my school. If you try to cause trouble in your marriage, he might stop financing my training. I only have 1 year left. If he pulls out now, I might never finish. Tosin couldn't believe what she was hearing. What are you trying to say? She asked, her voice shaking. Sister, please don't take it the wrong way, Jola said quickly. What I mean is, once I finish my training and start working properly, I'll come back. Then together we can fight him. I promise you, we'll get justice for everything he has done to you. But for now, just hold on and wait. Tosin felt her heart break even more. Her sister was choosing her education over her pain. Without another word, she ended the call. Tears rolled down her face as she cried bitterly. In her bitterness, Tosin heard a knock on the door. She quickly remembered that she was still in the ladies' restroom at work. Wiping her tears, she straightened her dress and adjusted herself before opening the door. Standing there was a young woman with a bright smile. Hello, I'm Lawyer Oyin. She introduced herself. I'm new here. I was transferred while you were away on vacation. I've always wanted to meet you. You are my mentor. Then her smile faded slightly. Is everything okay? I heard you crying, so I knocked. Tosin's heart skipped a beat. Had someone heard her? She quickly forced a smile. Oh, crying? She let out a nervous laugh. No, you must have heard wrong. Without waiting for a response, she brushed past Oyin and left. Oyin watched her go, feeling puzzled. Something didn't seem right, but she decided not to push. Ade's behavior became even worse. There was no safe place for Tosin anymore. She convinced herself that she had to endure it for her family's sake. If they were happy, then she would manage, no matter how miserable she felt. One day, after a terrible argument, Ade beat Tosin so badly that he refused to let her leave the house. She called in sick at work, unable to move properly. Later that day, the office sent Oyin to deliver some important documents to Tosin at home. When Oyin arrived, she immediately noticed something was off. Tosin was wearing large sunglasses indoors and her skin looked pale. Even though she had on a long loose gown, Oyin could see the signs, slight bruises on her hands. The way she walked carefully, as if in pain. Oyin didn't ask any questions. She simply handed over the documents and left. But something in her heart told her not to ignore it. Just as she reached the gate, she turned back and walked straight to the house again. Tosin opened the door, surprised to see Oyin standing there. "Did you forget something?" she asked nervously. Oyin's face was serious. "No, ma'am." "What did you say happened to you again?" Tosin tensed up. "Oh, I fell down the stairs," she stammered. Oyin chuckled softly. "The same excuse, huh? We both know that's a lie." Panic flashed in Tosin's eyes. She rushed forward, clamping her hand over Oyin's mouth. "Leave before you get yourself in trouble," she whispered harshly before pushing her out and shutting the door. Oyin stood outside, shocked. Now she was certain something was very wrong with her mentor. Back at home, Oyin couldn't shake off the events of the day. She kept thinking about Tosin, her bruises, her fear, and her refusal to speak. Something wasn't right. The next day, Oyin decided to return to Tosin's home under the excuse of office work. When she arrived, she found Ade on his way out. He greeted her warmly, smiling like a perfect gentleman. "Ah, Lawyer Oyin, welcome. My wife needs rest. Please help me remind her to be careful around the house," he said with concern. Oyin was confused. Ade seemed like a caring husband. If he was so sweet, then why was Tosin so afraid? Before leaving, Ade shot Tosin a warning look, one that clearly said she must not say or do anything to cause trouble. Then he walked out the door. As soon as he was gone, Tosin turned to Oyin with a cold expression. "What are you doing here again?" she asked. "I came for the truth," Oyin replied firmly. "What is going on with you? And please don't try to lie. I know you didn't fall." Tosin shook her head. "You're going to get yourself in trouble if you keep involving yourself with me. Nobody can help me," she whispered. "You need to seek help," Oyin urged. Tosin's face twisted in anger. "You don't understand. Nobody can help me. He has men everywhere. I've been managing this for almost 4 years now, and I can still manage." "No, you can't," Oyin countered. "What if you die in the process of managing?" Tosin's lips trembled. "Is your husband hitting you?" Oyin asked in disbelief. Tosin let out a bitter laugh. "Yes, he is. Do you think it's not possible? You think I'm lying?" "No," Oyin whispered, stepping forward. "I believe you." She pulled Tosin into a hug. For the first time, Tosin allowed herself to break down, sobbing into Oyin's shoulder. "Thank you for believing me," she said. "No one has my back." Tosin poured out everything, years of abuse, fear, and loneliness. Oyin listened carefully, her heart aching for her mentor. "This is not normal," Oyin said firmly. "You shouldn't sacrifice yourself for your family's sake. They don't love you enough if they're using you like this. You can't stay with an abuser. They don't change. He could kill you one day, and your family will continue living their lives without you." Tosin wiped her tears. "But he's done so much for my family and me. If I leave or fight back, he could come after them." "Let him," Oyin said fiercely. "Your life matters more." "But how can I fight against the almighty Ade? I know it wouldn't be easy, but you can't continue to live in fear. Don't you want to stay alive? Tosin, look at me," she said as she reached for Tosin's hands. "I will stand by you," Oyin promised. "First, we need to start gathering proof of his abuse." Together, they came up with a plan. Oyin took pictures of Tosin's bruises and saved them on her phone. They also decided to hide small cameras around the house to capture Ade's actions on video. That way, he wouldn't be able to manipulate the truth. Tosin finally felt a small glimmer of hope. For the first time in years, she wasn't alone. After gathering enough video evidence of Ade's abuse, Oyin decided to take things a step further. She anonymously leaked the footage on social media under a fake username, hoping to stir public outrage and force accountability. The response was immediate and intense. The videos went viral and people began calling out Ade's actions. His reputation, once spotless, was now under scrutiny. Investors started pulling out and business associates distanced themselves from him. Ade tried desperately to control the damage, releasing statements and attempting to silence the growing uproar. But the people were not willing to let the matter die down. With Oyin's help, Tosin finally left the house. The news spread quickly, shocking their colleagues at work. Many were horrified to learn what Tosin had endured in silence. But not everyone was on her side. Some people believed she was trying to destroy a good man who had done nothing but love her. Ade, now desperate, reached out to Tosin, begging her to grant an interview to deny the allegations. He wanted her to say that he had never laid a hand on her, but Tosin refused. As a result, both she and Oyin were fired from their jobs. "I'm so sorry for putting you through this," Tosin said, guilt-ridden. Oyin only laughed. "I will always stand for the truth. Even if I lose my job, I must not lose my conscience or my soul. I am happy to do this with you." Tosin felt a newfound confidence. For the first time in a long while, she had hope. Then her parents came to visit her at Oyin's place in an attempt to convince her to grant the interview. They were furious. "See what you have done. Why are you bringing shame to this family?" her mother yelled. "Why are you being such a troublemaker? Who doesn't have problems in their marriage? That only lady you are even following isn't even married. What does she know about marriage?" Tosin clenched her fist. "She knows what humanity means, Mama. Unlike my own family. She isn't greedy or willing to sacrifice someone's happiness for material things." "You are ungrateful," her father spat. "That man has done so much for this family and this is how you repay him?" Tosin took a deep breath, then said firmly, "He may have done a lot for us, but that doesn't mean I should pay with my life." Her parents fell silent. "I was foolish before, but now I can see clearly. I won't let him ruin me anymore," she continued. "I'm going to fight him with everything I have." And then, looking them both in the eye, she said, "I disown you as my parents." With that, Tosin turned and walked away, leaving behind a family that had failed her. With the overwhelming evidence against Ade, Tosin officially filed for divorce and charged him in court for abuse and the loss of their unborn child. Determined to get justice, she refused to back down. Angry at how things were unfolding, Ade attempted to bribe the judge, but his plan failed. The case had gained massive public attention, and people were eager to see how it would end. Oyin, along with a team of determined lawyers, stood by Tosin's side, ready to fight. Ade's legal team was strong and tried to dismiss several charges, but Oyin knew that if they could get the doctor to testify about Tosin's pregnancy and miscarriage, Ade would finally face the consequences of his actions. At first, the doctor was hesitant, fearing for his safety, but after persistent pleas from Oyin and Tosin, he finally agreed to testify in court. This new development enraged Ade. In a desperate move, he plotted to have the doctor killed before he could take the stand. However, his men failed in their attack and were swiftly arrested. With this additional evidence, Ade was charged with attempted murder. When the doctor testified detailing how Tosin lost her baby due to Ade's violence, the courtroom fell into stunned silence. The judge, after considering all the evidence, sentenced Ade to 15 years in prison. Additionally, the doctor who had initially helped Ade cover up his abuse had his medical license revoked for his role in the deception. Tosin finally felt a wave of relief wash over her. She turned to Oyin and hugged her tightly. "Thank you," she whispered, tears in her eyes. "Thank you for being my strength." Tosin's story is more than a tale of pain. It is a mirror reflecting the harsh realities many women endure in silence. It teaches us that abuse thrives in secrecy and silence only enables the oppressor. For too long, Tosin lived as a prisoner in a golden cage, trapped by the expectations of a society that values material wealth over human dignity. But in the end, she found the courage to break free. This story reminds us that no amount of money, power, or status is worth sacrificing one's happiness and safety. Tosin's family, blinded by greed, chose financial security over her well being, proving that not all family members will act in our best interest. True support often comes from unexpected places, like Oyin, who risked everything to fight for justice. It also reveals a hard truth. Society often protects abusers, especially when they are powerful. Ade's reputation made it easy for him to hide his crimes, while Tosin was expected to endure in silence. But justice can only prevail when people stand up for what is right, even at great cost. Oyin's bravery shows that real friends will defend the truth, no matter the consequences. Most importantly, this story teaches us that abusers do not change. Ade used manipulation and control to keep Tosin bound to him, shifting blame and disguising his cruelty as love. But love should never feel like a prison. Tosin's journey reminds us that freedom and peace of mind are far more valuable than wealth and status. At its core, this is a story of resilience, courage, and fight for justice. Evil thrives when good people do nothing. But when one woman finds the strength to break free, she lights the way for others to do the same. No one deserves to suffer in silence, and no one should have to pay for love with their life. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to this channel and come back to watch more videos like this.